Now, how have I been using this in the classroom? For example, one thing that is really nice is PowerPoint. And as it loads, this is one of the main reasons, or I should say the main ways that I've been using this in my classroom. So if I go to, let's see here, I have some math lessons that I've made up on PowerPoint. So again, this infrared pen basically makes it so that I can do whatever I want up here at the board. So now I'm going to go in, I'll identify the math goal, we can go through a lesson, and some of the things that we can do with PowerPoint, which I do need to go back to the computer, but I can turn my mouse into a writing tool. To get that off, I just have to hit the E on my keyboard. Or if you would really like to, you can, down here in the corner, you can select options. So if I wanted to change my pointer and the pen color, I can change it to, let's say, red. So in this, I can have my kids match, let's see, items accordingly. Then if I want to go to my next slide, next, we're going to review geometric shapes here. Go to the next one again. These are just the 3 shapes that we're going to cover in this lesson. The next one, I've incorporated some internet links. Again, your computer is going to have to be linked up to the internet. For example, oops, I need to change my pointer back. So your pointer options, you need to change it to an arrow in order to access the link. So if I access the link, we're going to go to an interactive website again that allows my students to see, once it gets loaded here, it allows the students to see kind of hands-on all the sides of geometric shapes. So now if I scroll down, these are the different types of pyramids, so I can manipulate them so that they can see all the pyramid shapes. It works out pretty good. Another application that I've used this Wiimote interactive whiteboard for is during PowerPoint, I can have my students actually come up here. I can tell them a time to show me. So if I wanted them to show me 4:30, what I can do is they can actually come up here and draw 4:30 for me, as well as write the digital notation. Now this allows me to stand back, and when they're done, I can hit the erase button, got a nice clean slate, next student can come up. Or also I can ask them to, if they have a piece of paper, I can just show them certain times, and then they have to show this for me as well. This was just a test review that we ended up doing. You can have students come up, have one student write one number, the next student write another number, and then have to show you greater than, equal to, less than. So that was a review for this test. For example, this one, if you ever want to introduce a calculator as a whole class, you can type in numbers and show them different functions on a calculator. Makes it a lot more accessible for students. They can come up and actually punch in numbers for you. But it's very hands-on, very visual for those learners. For social studies, an application you might want to use Google Earth. I haven't used this quite yet, but again, it's very hands-on. You can manipulate and find different locations for your students around the world. Kind of give them land features. There's numerous possibilities just to find different locations. So again, I haven't really played with this a whole lot quite yet, but again, it is very manipulative. Students can come up and do this as well. If you do have any questions, this is my email address. I'd be more than happy to try and answer some questions. Or if you want to send me your comments, some of your feedback about how you're using this in your classroom, I'd be happy to hear. I'm just looking for new ways to incorporate this into my classroom. As you know, the smart boards are pretty expensive. This is a very inexpensive alternative that is pretty functional as far as implementing it into the classroom. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me.